The 20th edition of the World Athletics Championships is only 1 week away, so what better time to rank every single 800-meter race in its history? Let's jump right in. The inaugural World Championships in 1983 in Helsinki, Finland started off with an absolute banger. Soon-to-be legends Peter Elliott and Joachim Cruz are both 20 years old, and they took the pace out hot, with Joachim Cruz taking the first 300 meters and Peter Elliott passing him from then on. For the rest of the race, those two absolutely battled for first and second, when Willy Wallbach of West Germany passed them with 80 meters to go, and Joachim Cruz absolutely dying the last 10 meters to get third place. I ranked this race in number 5 in the top 20. In 1987 Rome, we saw one of the most impressive 800-meter performances in World Championship history, with a record that held for 27 years. Billy Konchellah, one of the best 800-meter racers in history, took the race, ran in lane 2 for most of it to keep out of trouble, and powered his way to first place, setting a record that wouldn't be set again until Donovan Brazier of 2019. I ranked this race at number 12, but I could see it as high as 7. Guys, there were so many absolute banger 800-meter races, so we're just getting started. 1991 Tokyo, Japan featured one of my favorite runners, Johnny Gray, who set the pace the first 400 meters, with Barboza eventually passing him, but Konchellah, still in peak form, kicking past Barboza with about 50 meters to go. Konchellah became the first person ever, or the first male ever, to have repeat performances. I ranked this one at 16. In 1993 Stuttgart, Germany, Paul Rudo took out the pace in 51 point, with all the runners behind him not really sure where to commit. Konchellah left it really late this time and was coming storming at the end, but could not catch his Kenyan teammate Rudo or the Italian Giuseppe. I think if Konchellah committed a little bit earlier, I think he could have won the race, but you know, he didn't. What a stellar World Championship performances by him. And for Paul Rudo to win that race after supposedly being supposed to set the pace for his teammates, a huge kudos to him. Overall, a relatively solid race. I ranked that 17 on the ranking. In Gothenburg, Sweden in 1995 appeared the first time Wilson Kipketer, one of the greatest 800-meter runners of all time. This race was a very slow and tactical race. With about 350 to go, Kipketer actually had a gap start to form between him. But when he moved with 300 to go, he started going up to the front. With 200 to go, he swung to the outside, and with 100 to go, he really showed how dominant he was. He really left everyone else in the dust. Rodal was coming hard for second at the end, and he just couldn't hold on. I ranked this one at number 15. In 1997 Athens, Greece, we really started to see prime Wilson Kipketer in his greatness. He mirrored modern-day prime David Rudisha and going out in 23.4 at the 200 meter, hitting 49 point at the 400. In the next 200 meters, he really put his foot off the gas, and people were starting to catch him like a tiny bit. But Wilson was so good at timing the last 100 to 200 meters. By the time he started picking it up again, he was blasting, and just nobody had the energy to keep up with him. Everyone's legs were filled with lactic, and he won an easy gold medal. Second place was Tella of Cuba and Tenez of the USA. This was the 6th consecutive time a Kenyan-born athlete won the 800 meters. I ranked this one number 9. 1999 in Seville, Spain was another absolute scorcher. The whole pack was out in 23.4, and as soon as the brakes were being applied, Werni of Algeria comes and storms his way to first place, keeping the pace at a real, honest, and respectable 50.11. Sepang of South Africa eventually takes the lead and battles Wilson Kipketer in the last 100 meters in an absolute nail-biter and seat stander. This one ranks number 4 on my list, and also means this is the 6th consecutive time that a Kenyan-born athlete has won World Championships, and a three-peat for Mr. Wilson Kipketer. In 2001 Edmonton, Canada, Bungay of Kenya took the race out in 50-point low, leading the race from the start, but Butcher of Switzerland made a commanding move with 300 meters to go, and he never looked back, winning the title and breaking Kenyan-born athletes' 6th winning streak, with Chapowski almost beating Bengay at the very end. Bungay holds on for second place. And guys, if you want to know how to time an 800-meter race, watch that race. Beautiful masterclass from Chapowski to get third. In 2003, Paris, France contained my favorite 800-meter runner of all time, Yuri Borzakovsky. Yuri Borzakovsky hangs low in the pack, and with 200 meters to go, he makes such a strong move, and him and Guerny of Algeria fight to the line with Guerny passing Borzakovsky at the very end, nipping him by 0.03 seconds. Guys, this is one of my favorite races of all time, number 2 on my list. And guys, if you like what you're seeing now, please like and subscribe so I can make more. Back to the rankings. In 2005, we saw a return to Helsinki, Finland, where we saw an absolute tactical masterpiece in the 800 meter. This one's one of my favorite of all times. Again, we saw the race go out at a moderate pace in 24 mid, and then the absolute slowdown between 200 and 400. Bungei of Kenya takes a commanding surge and takes a big lead, trying to run all the way from home from 300 meters to go, and Ramsey and Borzakovsky make a huge move with 150 to go, and it's absolute drama from there. Ramsey and Yuri Borzakovsky battle to the line, with Ramsey beating Borzakovsky for the gold, and Bungei unable to hold on for a medal. In 2007 in Osaka, Japan, we saw a very slow and tactical race. I believe it was the slowest 400 meter split and 800 meter final in the World Championship finals history, out in 55 points. It was a very slow race. It was sit and kick. It was super congested and super pushy, yet my fellow countryman Gary Reid almost won a gold medal, with Daegu of Kenya out sprinting Gary Reid at the end by 0.01 seconds. My countryman Gary Reid settling for silver, almost winning that gold medal, yet I wasn't too entertained on how things played out. Yuri Borzakovsky wins his 4th World Championship medal, but Kenya regains their 800 meter winning ways. I ranked this one last at number 19. 2009 in Berlin, Germany saw another slow and tactical race. I was not a big fan of this race at all. They snuck 10 people in the finals, and guys, 10 people feels so much more than 8 people in an 800 meter finals. So much of the race is no longer in your control. Things just play out around you and you have to adapt the best. But if you're caught in a pack and everyone's shoving each other with 10 people, it's almost impossible to navigate. Muladzi of South Africa comes first, with Daegu of Kenya coming second, and Kamel coming third. I ranked this one at number 18. In 2011 in Daegu, South Korea, began the absolute dominance of the greatest 800 meter runner of all time, David Rudisha. In classic David Rudisha fashion, he took the lead 200 meters in, and he just never lets go. He is the best front runner in 800 meter history. When you're the fastest in 800 meter history, it's also easier to be the best front runner, but every race he ran, he knew how to run from the front, he knew how not to let people pass him, and this was the first time we really saw this dominance on display. It was actually this time Yuri Borzakovsky won his 4th World Championship medal, 2 silvers and 2 bronze. Last time was his 3rd. This was a great race to watch, and I ranked this number 6 on my scale. In 2013 in Moscow, Russia, David Rudisha was not in the finals. He was missing from the World Championship, so this was anybody's race. Eamonn races a fantastic race, passing Nick Symmonds after he makes a very gutsy move. Guys, Nick Symmonds is one of the ballsiest 800 meter runners I've ever watched, given his fitness level. He was always super elite, but he was just in an era of such dominant runners that making these kinds of moves are so ballsy, and he was rewarded with a silver. With Eamonn of Ethiopia winning the first 800 meter championship for Ethiopia, and I believe he's also the youngest champion in history. I ranked this one at number 10. In 2015, Beijing, China, David Rudisha returns, and he runs a very slow and tactical race for his standards in the 800 meter final. And even though he's running slow, nobody wants to pass him. And even when people do want to pass him, Rudisha had this sixth sense for who was coming behind him. Adam Schott of Poland tries to pass Rudisha on the inside with 250 to go, and Rudisha absolutely slams the door, and Schott stumbles out all the way back. And with 100 meters to go, Rudisha puts in this wicked surge. Nobody comes close. Rudisha comes gold. Schott comes second. I actually believe Schott would have had a chance at winning if he didn't make that move 250 to go. But that whole sequence happened just because Rudisha is so smart at his front running. Chuka takes bronze, and I ranked this one at number 14 on my list. In 2017, London, England, and with David Rudisha missing World Championships yet again, the race went out in 50.1, and Bossy of France made an absolute killer move with 300 meters to go. For those who don't understand, when you make a move with 300 meters to go, you better start separating from people, or else they're going to catch you the last 100 meters. It's a long way to run from home to sprint that far out, and Bossy does it. The last 50 meters, he's gritting his teeth, and he was absolutely shocked to win it. Second place, once again, for a second consecutive silver medal, is Schott from Poland, and third is Bet from Kenya. I ranked this one at number 11. And in 2019 in Doha, Qatar, was my absolute favorite 800 meter finals world championship race of all time. Vasquez of Puerto Rico takes the pace out super quick. The first 200, 23 low. The next 200, 25 point, going through in 48.9, which is the fastest split in World Championship history. Donovan Brazier of the USA stays right behind Vasquez the whole time, never doubts himself for a second, and decides 350 meters in, this pace isn't fast enough. So he starts navigating his way around Vasquez and takes the lead between 300 and 200 meters to go. From there, Vasquez is pretty much swimming at this point. Tuka of Bosnia navigates his way past him, Rotic navigates his way past him, and there's not really a battle for first place. Brazier was the clear winner, such a dominant performance and such a legendary performance, breaking Konchellah's 27-year-old record and breaking Johnny Gray's 20-something-year-old record. An absolute insane race. This one comes in at number 1 on my scale. In 2022 Eugene, Oregon was speed endurance at its finest. Out in a modest 52 point, Marco Arop gets tired of this and just blasts his way to the front, 300 meters to go, but he can't quite hold on, coming in third place with career negative splitting a 143.71, with Sajadi of Algeria coming second. I rank this one number 8 on my list. And finally, last but not least, in Budapest, Hungary, the 800 meter finals was another tactical one. And this is also one of my favorite races in terms of big men running tactics. Marco Arop, who's usually a front runner at this point of his career, goes right to the back in a slow-paced race. And before the pack goes again between 400 and 500, Marco Arop decides that he's going to run in lane 2. He's going to run that extra 3-4 meters just so he can get preferential spacing between 300 and 200 meters to go. And he does exactly that. While everyone was trapped in this tight pack going out in 53 point, there's a lot of pushing and shoving. There's a lot of people watching not to step on each other, going faster and slower. This race was not a fun race for the people in the middle of that pack. And so by the time Marco Arop was going, people had to navigate their way around each other. People had to match Marco's move. And by the time you're slowing down and speeding up and swinging wide and swinging inside, even when you're running 53 points, Marco was at the back, yet he wasted the least amount of energy, even though he spent an extra 3 meters running in lane 2 on that corner. So when he took a powerful lead, nobody could catch him, not even Wanyanye from Kenya, who's Marco Arop's rival right now. So this was Canada's first gold ever and first medal since Gary Reid, and a very exciting race to watch. This one finishes off my list at number 7. Guys, I hold firm that the 800 meter race is the most exciting race in all of track and field. Any of these rankings could have been switched depending on the day I watched them, especially between the rankings of like 5 and 13, 14. They were all exhilarating races. Even the ones that were the least enjoyable were still super exciting. So let me know what you think about this list below. Do you totally disagree with my analysis? What's your guys' top 5 races of all time? And do you have any cool stories about watching these races or attending them yourself? So let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.